Ugandans continue to suffer from the raging side effects of wheat products due to their overconsumption. These wheat products like chapats, bread, samosas, Rolex and commando among others trace their origin from Arab countries like Pakistan, where they serve as the most common source of food. In Uganda, wheat products started to dominate the market in the 21st century when people started using them as the major source of food, especially in Kampala and some major towns across the country. It is currently the most preferred source of food among youth, especially Makerere University students.
I prefer eating chapatis because when I eat them during morning time, it makes me strong and it can push me the whole day, like up to lunchtime.
Wheat is a source of carbohydrates and also considered globally as the leading source of proteins in human foods compared to other cereal products, but this is relatively low in protein quality for supplying essential amino acids. According to Dr. Robert Mazaki, overconsumption of wheat products lead to complications on people's health.
The most common danger is gluten sensitivity. Gluten is a term, actually it is a protein which is formed in wheat. It comes from the word glue like, and it is the one responsible for that elasticity in the dough when you're making chapatis. Yes, in most of the population you find they are sensitive to that protein. Whenever they take in that wheat chapati, they always have advanced reactions in their bowel. It can be diarrhea, constipation. It can even be as worse as causing an autoimmune response. Most times the disease is called celiac disease. Then the second danger I can talk about are the high spikes of glucose in the blood. Most of these refined wheat products like white bread, when you take them, they quickly increase the levels of glucose in the blood. Yes, and these elevate the glycemic levels in the blood. So, as a response, someone develops what you call insulin resistance. You see? And then they can end up having what? Conditions like diabetes. Yes. And then the other thing which can follow that is weight gain. Some people gain weight as a result of eating these wheat-related products because of their high carbohydrate levels. In most times, carbohydrates are converted into fats, so they end up what? Gaining weight.
Despite the raging health complications that comes across with overconsumption of wheat products, majority of students of Makerere University just cannot afford life without consuming these products.
The reason as why they eat that is because they don't have money, they lack finances, so the only cheapest food they go for is chapati and samosas and all that.
You go to buy food, you'll find it's really very expensive and the distance of getting it is even longer, and these can be accessed in canteens, which makes it even better. So that's why they usually buy such things.
The growing population of over 40,000 students at Makerere University offers the most suitable market for wheat products, resulting to almost every shop vendors investing in the business. Some of these vendors raise concerns over the side effects of overconsumption of wheat products.
One of the dangers is that there is normally students suffer from constipation because this is flour, it is made of flour, and you know this flour, it can take a lot of time for the intestines to digest. They normally suffer from constipation. And another thing, there is malnutrition because we as people, we as human beings, God created us when we have to feed on natural foods. So if students eat these things, they are most likely not to grow well.
Despite students expressing no hope of abandoning wheat products consumption, majority of them express fear over their lives due to dangers that they experience after consuming these products.
Overfeeding on commando cost me much money through paying for typhoid in hospital bills. Actually, it went to 150,000 just paying for that because I had suffered constipation and again I had typhoid now that resulted from the poor hygiene of the commando makers.
I remember one time I was very hungry and I went to buy a chapati at one of the slums in Kampala. It was here at Chivu because by that time I was staying near Chivu. I went to buy a chapati at 9 p.m. Little did I know that this chapati has even spent like one day. So I bought, reaching there, the moment I ate like this, I actually contracted the diarrhea from it, and the following day I was admitted to Makerere Hospital. So you have to be mindful of the place, because in most cases these people are not hygienic enough. They just put their products there without covering, and for us customers who go there to buy, when you don't put such into consideration, we are most likely to get such diseases.
The numerous dangers of consuming wheat products among students, Makerere University administration has not taken any step to regulate what comes into the university canteens, claiming that it's the role of the Kampala Capital City Authority and not even sensitizing students about the dangers of feeding on them.
Generally, there are certain things which students buy for their use. It could be what are they called? Toiletries. These things we use for washing and soap and so on. But in addition to that, they also sell some foods. And they are fast foods, those which are made, like chips, like chapati. And sometimes they also sell bread, especially the smaller types, which are like buns. The work of inspection of food is not for the university. Inspection of food is a health-related thing, and is supposed to be done by KCCA. So everything which is sold in town should be regulated by the urban one. Even the food we eat here, it's supposed to be regulated by urban authorities. Okay. And so as a university, we don't have any unit which regulates the standards of food. So people go out and buy, because most of the foods which are sold here are not made here. They are put from outside, from the market. So it is inspected here that because they are bought from the open market, then they should be meeting our Ugandan standards. I don't think we have done any sensitization about that because it has not been brought, at least not to my attention.
In response to the Dean of Students, Makerere University, the Kampala Capital City Authority spokesperson Peter Kauj says that Makerere University has an obligation to regulate what is brought and sold in their canteens because the role of Kampala Capital City Authority is to oversee what is consumed in Kampala.
We have a big mandate to ensure that we actually inspect food and drinks. That is why we issue certificates. We certify people that have anything to do with food in the city. So it's a bigger mandate going beyond institutions and small units. So the small units actually should also have their own regulations. So we have an oversight. We just have an oversight role. But in terms of regulating, the university should have somebody in charge. Yeah, I mean they should do the right things because they have nutritionists in the university, but we have health inspectors and they do their work to ensure that we move everywhere, especially food joints, institutions like those, but we only inspect. They must have somebody resident to do that work.
They advise students to always look for alternative diets.
My advice is they should try, however much they are in situation, they are in a very difficult situation, they should try as much as they can to get some food. For example, let them know they are still young, they can use the energy they have. Let them move to Karera and they get some greens of 500. They can get biringanyas, they are always there. Mukene. Yeah, at least they should eat food.
Robert, however, recommends that students and the general public should always reduce on the consumption rate of wheat products.
To regulate, we have you find someone eating chapati at breakfast, chapati at lunchtime, dinner is taking you bread, evening supper is taking another chapati, plus posho, plus, you see, so many things, but too much wheat. Yes. Posho, also posho, of course, now that is too much starch also. Like you find it is all about those carbohydrates, which they are not so much nutritious, first of all. Yes, and then with those dangers we have talked about. So that way they give them, they can regulate, they substitute. You can substitute with the low glycemic foods like yams. Books recommend the yams according to literature. Yams, you recommend sweet potatoes. You can have it once in a while. Yeah, take a chapati at breakfast maybe with a fruit or with a boboya. Then lunchtime eat another meal. You see. Evening, and then keep it for tomorrow. Maybe you can now you can eat the chapati in the following. Take a lot of water is to increase so that it is at least it can move through the gut well, and then it is passed out as soft stool to avoid those complications.
Amidst the dangers engulfing wheat products consumers, the Minister of Tourism Honorable Chiwanda Subi on 17th August 2016 launched Rolex as a tourist attraction. This was done without any prior sensitization on the side effects of consuming wheat products. Kawesi Yasini, Chenema Goba Geoffrey, and Nachimbugwe Mole.